So what's up? What what was your question?
I'm about to grab the two cards that I'm about to.
Okay.
It's Land's question, bro. You'd be surprised. You're like, it's Land's
Yeah.
question.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna fix my camera.
Okay.
All right. So my question is this:
Okay.
I understand a lot of rules and I understand a lot of things.
Okay.
My question is basically with Krosan Verge and Temple Garden.
Let's see. Temple Garden. Oh, right. As it enters, you may pay 2 life. If you don't, okay. And then Krosan Verge. Oh yeah. Pay to tap. Search for a forest and plains. Put in the battlefield tap. Okay. So, are you asking if you can pay the 2 life to have Temple Garden come in untapped?
Yes.
No. So what happens is Temple Garden doesn't say pay 2 life to have it come in untapped. It just says you may pay 2 life, and if you don't, Temple Gardens makes itself come in tapped. But if you pay the 2 life, it would come in however the land would normally be coming in. Normally that would be untapped, except you have the instruction to put it into play tapped. So paying 2 life doesn't override the instruction to put into play tapped. It just says, I'm not going to make myself come in tapped if you pay the 2 life. But you still have the other instruction saying put it into play tapped that follows suit.
Okay.
Yeah. It would be
That-
if Temple Garden said, as a Temple Garden enters the battlefield, you may pay 2 life. If you do, Temple Garden comes into play untapped. That would work the way you're hoping it does.
Okay.
Yeah. Hope that clears it up.
Nope, it did.
Make sure.
So I think I did this correctly. So
Okay.
it's an interaction between, and I think I'm doing this correctly. It's an interaction where I have
Panharmonicon, a roaming throne.
So the way it worked is I casted Panharmonicon first.
Okay.
Next turn I casted Roaming Throne and something else. Roaming Throne would enter. Technically, it gets 2 creature types, but it only gets 1.
It does not. It does not get 2.
Yes, I know that, but when it enters, it does double trigger technically. So,
No. What I'm saying is with Panharmonicon, that doesn't interact with Roaming Throne's ability to come in and choose a creature type. Says Roaming Throne doesn't have a trigger as it enters.
But it is as it enters. Yeah,
right, it's a replacement effect
right.
that modifies how it enters, so that doesn't interact with Panharmonicon at all. But
okay, so then the other thing that would happen is when I cast my commander, it's an ETB effect, right?
Right.
So
there's a glare on that. Who's your commander there?
Yeah, so it's J. Here, I'll put it in there.
Okay.
Put it in there. It's really easy. It should be able to scan, so most of the time my cards are able to scan.
Yeah, it's just it's not scanning. It might be because of that cover over it.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the commander, right?
Oh yeah. JYO. Okay, hang on.
So when he enters, if I'm not mistaken, what happens is there's 2 triggers that go on. There's 3 triggers that go on the stack, right? So
time you cast your commander. Okay.
So the first time I cast him, which will be now, it would create 1, which then sees Roaming Throne, which means I create 2. But Panharmonicon also sees it entering, so it would create 1. But it also sees the Roaming Throne enter, so it would create 1 more. Correct?
No. So hold on. Oh, you're saying it would see the Roaming Throne ability and have that happen another time?
Mm-hmm. Because it does.
Well, so here's the thing. All those abilities that like Roaming Throne, Panharmonicon, Wolfgar, Ishin, all of these things that say, if a certain type of trigger would happen, it happens in additional time, like Delny, Annie joins up, all these things, right? That ability in itself is not a trigger. That ability is a static.
It's a replacement.
It's not a replacement effect. It acts similar to replacement effects, but it's a static ability that changes the rules of the game for how certain types of triggers work. So what will happen is when you have your Roaming Throne enter, and I'm assuming you chose Elemental,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now, whenever an elemental you control triggers, it triggers an additional time. Panharmonicon says when you have a creature or artifact enter the battlefield, if it has a trigger, if it causes a trigger, it triggers an additional time, right? So what happens is when your commander enters the battlefield, it wants to put a trigger on the stack. Both Roaming Throne and Panharmonicon see that, and they themselves don't trigger, but they tell your commander to trigger an additional time each. So you get 3 triggers onto the stack at the same time.
Okay. All right.
But-
So it's not 4. It's just 3. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, because I had run into a game with this, and I'm like, man, I don't know if Roaming Throne sees Panharmonicon and sees that as itself, because it is a creature in itself. So I didn't know if it triggered. So that makes sense. So it would only create 3.
Right, and again, because Roaming Throne's ability in that regard is not a trigger.
Sure.
Yep.
Fair. So the other one is, let's say I play a Tatiova, right?
Yep.
And then I play my commander, right? Which makes a forest dryad. Now, a creature has now triggered Panharmonicon to trigger Tatiova. It is a land, but it is also a creature. Would that mean that
Panharmonicon doesn't care if there are additional card types to that permanent entering. It just cares that it is either a creature or an artifact.
Right, so I would do 2.
Right, because even though the trigger is looking for a land, a creature entering caused that trigger to go onto the stack.
Right.
So Panharmonicon will see that and say, actually put another trigger on the stack as well.
Perfect.
Yes.
All right, I've been doing that correctly. And then I guess the other one is, and I want to make sure that this is correct, because I have done this a couple times.
Sure.
In this deck. You gotta find it. Ashaya, okay.
Ashaya, Soul of the Wild, all your non-token creatures are forest. Yeah.
So she enters as a forest, right?
Yeah, her static ability applies to herself the moment she
Right.
touches the battlefield. So that would
Perfect.
trigger your Tatiova, and with Panharmonicon out, that would trigger it twice. Yes.
Yep, that is what I'm thinking. I think I've done all of these correct. The only other one that I didn't do correct is the double stuff. So.
Imagine all the shenanigans you could do if Landfall actually got support. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, for real, man. I mean, this is super fun.
Such an underutilized mechanic. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So my question for Earthbending.
Yeah.
Because I noticed like one of the lands right here from the Rumble Arena, it has the word vigilance on it.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that the wording, it doesn't really say that much, but
while it's a land, it doesn't matter. But once it becomes a creature, it is a creature with vigilance. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, there's
because,
a few lands like that. Like the Secret Tunnel is a like I think it's an unblockable land. You know, so if it becomes a creature, it's unblockable. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure if it didn't like wipe out the types or whatnot, because specifically the last game that I played, I copied their Toph, the metal bender, with like Phyrexian metal move, and I put I earthbended it. I just want to make sure it still retains the artifact quality.
Yeah. So Toph gives your lands, and when you are earthbending in general, Earthbending gives the land the creature card type in addition to its other types. Right? So if something is given a card type or a creature type, or if it's something specifically changing a type, and that ability says in addition to its other types, then it keeps all the types that it previously had. But if I have something that just says like target permanent becomes an artifact until end of turn, then it loses all of the other, because it doesn't say in addition to its other types, it loses all of the other types that it had.
Yeah, because just again, it just says target land you control becomes a 0/0 creature with haste, and that is still a land, but it doesn't say much about that in addition to its other types.
Yeah, let me double check him. It should still have that. But let me double check.
Let's say that. But...
Are you a judge or are you just a?
I am a rules advisor certified through Judge Academy. But honestly, a title. Even I know plenty of like like level 2 high level judges that still get stuff wrong from time to time. So I try not to lean too much on title and just to say I keep up with a lot of the stuff here.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All right, come on now. Guess they haven't updated it in the. Okay, here we go. No, yeah, it's so that's just the reminder text that said to remind you it's also a land, but the actual official rules do say in addition to its other types.
Got it.
Yeah, reminder text
It's
isn't always
exciting.
complete information. That's why I wanted to double check. Yeah.
So if Toph is on the battlefield,
Yep.
and let's say I have Liquid Metal Torque.
Yep.
I activate Liquid Metal Torque on, let's say, Toph itself.
Sure.
On end step, I will Earthcraft and give 2+1/+1 counters on Toph itself.
Right, because so Liquid Metal Torque is turning Toph into an artifact, and Toph's static ability is also making herself a land, which makes her a valid
Yes.
target for Earthbend. So then she
Yes.
becomes a 0/0 with 2/1/1 counters on her.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, Earthbending sets the power and toughness to 0/0 and then gives it counters.
okay.
Yeah.
So Toph's base power and toughness is 0/0/2/1/1 counters on it.
Right.
Yes?
Correct.
So after the ability has resolved
Uh-huh.
and priorities passed again on end step, if let's say a kill spell were to happen on Toph,
Uh-huh.
would Toph, so would the Earthbending ability allow Toph to come back onto the battlefield?
Yeah, sure. So here's the thing. When Earthbend resolves, so
Yeah.
like you said, it was able to resolve. It wasn't in response to the Earthbending
Yes.
target. So when Earthbending resolves, it turns the land into a 0/0 creature, gives it counters, and then sets up what's called a delayed trigger. So a delayed trigger is a trigger that doesn't happen right away, but it waits for a
Yeah.
specific event, right? So common examples would be like sneak attack. You put a creature into play.
Yes.
At the end step, you sacrifice that creature. That's a delayed trigger, right? So
Yep.
the delayed trigger is looking for that specific event. So
Mhm.
Toph gained that delayed trigger of when she's put into either graveyard or exile, return to the battlefield tapped.
Okay. And so she no longer, because Liquid Metal Torque's ability on that game object no longer exists, it is now just a creature that comes back onto the battlefield tapped.
Correct, right. Liquid Metal Torque is just it affects
Until
that
end of
object
turn.
till in turn, but once that object changes zones, any
Yes,
of
now it
those
no longer affects that game object.
any
yeah.
of those layer changing effects no longer affect it because it's a new object. Correct.
Okay.
So Toph would re-enter as just a creature. I mean, yeah,
Okay.
pretty good creature, but still just a creature. Yeah. All right. I said Leyline of
I'm pretty
Resonance
sure I
and
know
what?
the answer. I just wanted to know their opinion.
Okay.
Dreadmaw's ire.
Let's see here.
So we can
Dreadmaw's
assume I have a creature out that is getting through.
Gains trample, and when this creature deals damage to a player, destroy target artifact that player controls. Leyline of Resonance. Let's see. When you cast an instant sorcery, only a single. Okay, target's only a single creature. Copy that spell. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
So my question is, focuses on gains trample, and whenever this creature
Right.
deals combat
So,
damage.
so does that count as targeting something other than that creature for the purpose of copying it with the Leyline? Is that what you're asking?
I mean, does this mean I can destroy 2 artifacts? Does this gain a second instance of when it deals
Gotcha.
combat damage?
Yeah. So
Destroy
what
an
it
artifact.
does is Dreadmaw's Ire, as it resolves, will give the targeted creature an instance of that ability in quotes, right? It's no different than saying target creature gains lifelink or gains trample. It's giving it an ability, right?
Yeah.
And so what'll happen is because Dreadmaw's Ire does only target the creature you're targeting, because that ability won't target anything until it actually triggers later. So you'll get a copy of it with the Leyline, and a single creature can have 2 instances of the same ability, that because for resolving from 2 separate sources. Like a lot of times if you're copying something that gives something like a keyword twice, it's redundant, right? Like double lifelink doesn't do anything, double trample doesn't do anything. But in this instance, you have 2 separate instances of that combat damage trigger on the creature. So when it deals combat damage to a player, it will have 2 triggers go on the stack that say destroy target artifact that player controls. So yes, you can destroy 2 artifacts with a single creature that was targeted twice with this spell and the copy of it because of the ley line. Yes.
Perfect. That's exactly what I thought. I just wanted to double check and bounce it off someone else. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sometimes it helps to just hear it out loud, right?
Yeah.